For today's video, we're going to be watching some TikToks that will help us raise our vibrations and our consciousness. Let's get started.
Just so people can really understand texturism, this is what our hair looks like. And the people who started this violence against this hair literally did that with their hair. That's how they styled it. Those were the people saying shit about this. Okay? They were saying shit about this when their hair looked like this. Well, our hair looked like this. Okay? Now, don't you ever validate texturism. Because people who looked like this created it. That right there. Well, we look like this. Okay, case closed. Case closed. No, actually, I'm not done yet. Because I'm gonna show you more. Art. Literal fucking art. Even the dudes were doing crazy elaborate things with their hair. Okay? It's literally an art form. This is where beauty and intelligence comes together. There's a reason that our hair is discriminated in media. There's a reason that those same people I showed earlier denied women like her the ability to wear this hair to school and work, because we would have continued to design it in elaborate ways. We would have continued to know how to take care of it, and it would have flourished. And the moment you rip an African away from their hair, now they don't know who they are. But we are this. This is us. This is what we do when we have true freedom. This is what we've been doing for thousands of years outside of white violence. So go back to it. Just never forget, racism is narcissistic abuse, meaning at its core is deep-seated insecurity. And then there's just a layer of violence and aggression wrapped around it to protect that inner core.
Well, she summed it up for you. Our hair is very, very important. That's why they create all these different things to keep us from not having our hair. Our hair is our antennas, and it connects us to source. So that's why they create all these different things for us to strip us from our power. Your hair is a very, very powerful weapon. Use it wisely, y'all.
This lady just blew my mind with this video I'm about to play for y'all. I love her for making it, but when you watch it, you gotta keep these three things in mind. Look, number one, religious people say that God is up above in the sky, right? Keep that in mind. Number two, before religion came into play, every single civilization on our planet worshiped the sun as God. They wrote that the sun is the physical manifestation of God in this realm. Keep that in mind. Number three, right now if you go look up images of Jesus, in most of the pictures, he's gonna have the sun in the background. Majority of the time, it's right behind his head.
Hey babies, I'm back with a quick one right now. Mama got some shit I need to do today, but I want to talk to y'all something about this Sunday. A lot of y'all dressing up, putting your wigs on and putting on your best Sunday outfits, and you're going into these houses of worship and you're worshiping God today. Called the Son of God. You know, there was a time they used to call us the people of the sun. Then they said we were sun worshipers back in the day. We wasn't worshiping no sun. You done took the you, capped it off and put an O, and now you got us all worshiping your son. You know, back in the day they told us that the body was the temple. That's your church, and God live in you. But now they want you to worship some God outside yourself, living up in the sky, sitting on the throne with a bunch of naked babies around it. Y'all seen them pictures they drew of God up there with all them babies with no clothes on, with no mama around? Makes you wonder. But let me ask you something, baby. Let me tell you, as long as you don't think God live in you and live outside you, They gonna harness all your spiritual power, baby. Them churches are harnessing sinners to pull all your energy in. And your pastors and your priests, they all went to them schools of theology, supposed to be. Well, who taught them about God? Did they look like them? Who wrote the curriculum about all these organized religions that they force-fed everybody? Got you bowing down to their symbols and their holidays, a lot of certain star systems and things. It's all spell work, baby. Do I believe the Bible? I believe there's a lot of truth in that book, but also some of us old girls know that book was used for a lot of spell casting, full of astrology and numerology with your 12s and your 3s and your 6s and your 7s. Mama gonna give you some breadcrumbs, but it's up for you babies to go ahead and do the homework. But I'm gonna ask you a question, all of y'all rocking your symbols of executions around your neck. Yeah. Because when Jesus was hanging on that cross, they had a bow to the left of him and to the right of him. They was killing people that way. Symbol of execution. So let me ask you something. They would have killed that boy by hanging him. Would you all be wearing nooses around your neck? Makes you wonder.
Man, shout out to Mama T. You gotta go check her page out. She has amazing content. And let her know Moses sent you.
Man, I definitely shout out to Mama T, because I do watch her videos and it's very, very informing to hear, you know what I'm saying? And she makes valid points. Question everything, y'all. Question everything. That's all I'm gonna say.
So tell me, do you believe, was Disney trying to tell us something? Crazy, right? Some things are just an optical illusion, right? Well, is this an optical illusion? Look at that and tell me you don't know what that is. Go ahead and tell me that confidently and mean it, because you know darn well what that is. You can see it. No, that's not a carving. That's a petrified animal from the days of old.
Do you see this?
Yes.
Do you see this?
Yep.
It's freaking nature, and it's freaking awesome.
Yes, it is. And I don't think science can properly explain how these animals were petrified so quickly to where they were able to preserve their form through all these years. And you know, that really got me thinking. There's plenty of statues on this earth that are thousands of years old. Now, what if they were petrified beings? Now, I know, it's just a thought. And yeah, I can't wait for the Mount Rushmore jokes. And you can joke all you want, but I promise you truth is stranger than fiction.
If you take a step back and look at nature and just be still, you'll realize everything for what it really is. Then you'll get to know like a whole lot more than what you was told.
Back in 2001, we had controversies behind the film Donnie Darko, from the 9/11 jet crash with a missing airplane like MH370 to the medicated students from Columbine shooting. But the real hidden message of this film was the occult channeling of knowledge through the demonic bunny Frank. Frank is Donnie's holy guardian angel, just like Aleister Crowley's AWAS. Both dictated the future and channeled information into their receivers. Aleister Crowley's AWAS told him of the new world called the Aeon of Horus, and Frank tells Donnie the world is coming to an end on October 30th, a holiday for the sacrifice to the gods. Some of the knowledge Donnie and Frank bestow upon the audience includes the alchemical theory of destruction as a form of creation.
Flood the house and they tear it to shreds. That destruction is a form of creation. So
Cue the 9/11 conspiracies here, and the Gnostic fantasy of evil not really being all that bad. In fact, the science teacher literally says it's a necessary form of evolution for children to embrace the darkness.
And did you stop and think that maybe infants need darkness? That maybe darkness is part of their natural development?
The all-seeing eye appears in Donnie's room and on the jet engine of the airplane, which also looks like the Eye of Horus, drawing us back to Aleister Crowley's Aeon of Horus. Donnie's sister also says the prince is led into a world of strange and beautiful magic, which is what the Aeon of Horus is all about, occult magic. Patrick Swayze plays the role of the town guru, who turns out to be the leader of a child abuse ring. Director Richard Kelly shows us how he's plugged into the local doctor and is viewed as a messiah even after his arrest. There's an all-star cast to discuss also: Seth Rogen, Hogan sexually harassing girls, Jenna Malone as Donnie's Scarlet Woman, Drew Barrymore as the literal Karen who's teaching the kids a lesson of fiction influencing reality, the theme of predictive programming. Donald J. Darko, yes, that's his real name, ends up questioning God and decides that following Christ means he's giving up his free will, so he takes the inverted path of Gnosticism, as indicated by the camera roll at the end and the hidden symbolism of the owl, aka the goddess of Gnostic wisdom, on the fridge. In conclusion, the film is all about the Great Reset and the new normal, the new age Aleister Crowley told us about, and one we kept hearing about after 9/11 when it triggered the alchemical process globally. Hear all about the Halloween satanic holiday, Donnie's holy guardian angel or demon, and the hidden Gnostic messaging of this cult classic on Conspiracy Theories and Unpopular Culture podcast.
It's so much symbolism that they use from the Gnostics and the occult in these movies. And I think they used it in, if I'm not mistaken, Jeepers Creepers. They use a lot of symbolism in these movies. It was also talking about how we do need the dark side, because what people don't really understand it or understand is, in order to get to the light, you have to go through the dark. Whether you go to the higher so-called realms or whatever, it's always going to be a polarity. It's always going to be a equal or opposite. It's about taking control over the dark side or over your shadow self, so that your shadow, your dark side, doesn't take control over you. But we're going to get to the next video. Okay, so we know that everything is energy and that tattoos have a significant meaning, especially when it comes to spirituality. For those that are unfamiliar with this tattoo, this is called a tramp stamp. And this was a very well-known tattoo to get, especially during the late 90s and early 2000s. And this is basically a tattoo for women to put on their lower backs. And any woman that had this tattoo will be labeled with derogatory names. But little do people know, this tattoo has very significant power. It's also known that ancient Egyptians will wear these lower back tattoos, or aka tramp stamps, in order to protect themselves as well as others during the childbirth process. The powers that come with this tattoo derives from sympathetic magic, activated only when all of the women involved during childbirth bore similar tattoos. It's only worn by those who will be involved in the birth-giving process, being midwives and or women partaking in rituals related to childbirth. It really fixed people's minds into believing that these were just some trashy tattoos. But many people don't even realize that these tattoos, such as the tramp stamp, have immense power. The Egyptians used these tattoos. They used art, whatever meaning or intention behind your tattoo, or whatever symbolism, and depending on where you place that tattoo, it determines the power and the energy that it holds. Tattoos are also a powerful magnetic force of energy. And if you don't already know who she is, this is True Ascension, and you can go check her out on her Instagram and TikTok, True Ascension, as well as go and subscribe to her YouTube, because sis be spitting facts. She be coming with the bangers, y'all. Y'all don't want to miss out.
Man, can anybody tell me what the fuck is this? I mean, this motherfucker huge. Can anybody tell me what this is? Yeah.
Is it possible that these animals just might be minimalized, and they're now going back into their true form because the frequency of this planet is rising and shifting?
Please wake the fuck up. Viral, I promise you. I was watching a flat earth video on TikTok earlier and shit, right? Then I really thought about something, bro. Yo, peep how we the third planet from the sun, right? Just peep this real quick before I explain myself. Yo, I really need y'all to just pay attention, yo. I just debunked some crazy shit. So this is a crazy sunset, right? Peep how it's just coming straight through, right? Mind you, clouds going straight the whole time. But besides that, You peep how we can like visibly see the sun, and y'all know, bro, like you can actually see the sun and you can see the moon, right? Like we can visibly see that shit, right? So why is it that we can't see these big ass planets before the sun visibly? Bro, I just really need y'all to think about this shit, bro. We can see the moon, we can see the sun, supposedly, but why can't we see these two joints? And then look, if you look at this picture, you can see how small the moon is, right? Bro, if you seen the moon on the full moon, bro, this shit big as shit, bro. But this planet is way bigger than the moon, supposedly. So why can't we just see that shit like we see the sun? If it's right there, bro. They've been capping towards this whole time, that's why. Wake up!
When I would get in the plane, you can see the sun like beneath the plane and over the entire earth. That's probably why they don't want us to have our phones on and make us turn our phones on airplane mode.
I don't want to go to work. I don't want to work for nobody. And it might sound so lazy. Like people be like, well, what's your dream job? I don't have no dream job. I want to get up and literally do what the I want to do. Eat what I want to eat. Why are we paying for groceries? Why are we paying for food? I want to get up and take a vacation whenever I want to take a vacation.
Stop it. I can't watch this.
Yo, I'm with you. I am with you. This is not the move. This is not the end all be all. It's way more to it than trying to retire at some 65 years old. Like, what? I'm not knocking it, but this is not the end all be all. If you want to see more conscious content from my channel, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you won't miss out on new conscious content. And this YouTube channel is all about raising consciousness and raising the vibration so that we can take control over our own realities. So this is the whole purpose of this YouTube channel. And if you want to see more from me, go follow me on my Instagram and TikTok, True Ascension as well. And I'll see y'all later. Peace and abundance, peace and chaos.